It has been long rumored that the Illuminati would soon be making their way to the MCU. But I never thought that we would see them actually get their own project until now, because we now have some new news from Daniel RPK, aka Daniel Rickman. If you don't know him by now, he's a super reliable inside source, especially when it comes to trailer news and info. But today, he's bringing us another scoop saying that Marvel Studios is in development on a project about the Illuminati. And he doesn't specify whether it's a movie or a Disney Plus series. Either one, honestly, would work. But this is really interesting because, when I first heard this news, I was like, oh, that's gotta be fake. Like, it just doesn't make sense at this point in time. But then you also have to keep in mind that Marvel Studios planned their stuff like 7-8 years in advance. So this is a project that probably won't be coming out at any point in time within the next few years. This is like a ways away. And that's where it kind of makes sense, because in the comics, the Illuminati consists of Doctor Strange, Tony Stark, Reed Richards, Namor, Black Bolt, and Professor X, and sometimes Black Panther as well. So if you look at that lineup right there, only 3 of those characters have been introduced to the MCU, with Black Panther, Doctor Strange, and Tony Stark. And then one of those, Tony Stark, died. And then Black Panther, obviously, Chadwick Boseman passed away in real life, so we don't have the T'Challa Black Panther anymore. They could easily replace him with Shuri as Black Panther, whoever becomes the new Black Panther in Black Panther 2. But, it's just interesting that this would be a plan when half these big characters aren't even introduced yet, like Reed Richards and Namor and Black Bolt and Professor X, although a lot of these characters are rumored to be introduced very soon in the future of the MCU. Of course, we know we're getting an MCU Fantastic Four movie, so of course Reed Richards is going to be there in that. There's huge rumors of Namor being the villain of Black Panther 2. There's rumors of Professor X showing up in Doctor Strange 2. And as for Black Bolt, well, there's no rumors, unfortunately, about the Inhumans, because I have a feeling Kevin Feige kind of just wants to forget about that Inhumans TV show. But, I'd still like to see him come back. I'm a big fan of the Inhumans. So, with that, again, thinking about how, this would not come out at any point in time in the next few years, and, probably all of these characters will be introduced first, it makes sense. And especially when, Kevin Feige has said previously that the comics serve for inspiration for the MCU, but they always do something new with it. They never do a one-to-one translation. So, if we do get the Illuminati in the MCU, it's not going to be an exact copy of that lineup. We could get other members in the MCU, like I mentioned before, with Shuri as Black Panther, or again, whoever else becomes Black Panther. I think another one that would make a lot of sense is Bruce Banner / Hulk / Professor Hulk, whatever he's going by nowadays. He just makes a lot of sense, especially because now, I don't know if he's even an Avenger anymore. Technically he's still an Avenger, but, he's got that arm injury. And I have a feeling going forward he's going to be playing more of a mentor role. So I could definitely see him fitting into this team. Another one that I've seen people throw around is possibly even Hank Pym. Hank Pym, I think, would make a lot of sense as well, because, he's a scientist. He's got all that knowledge with the quantum mechanics and quantum physics and all that stuff, and he's the one that created the Pym particles. Another one that kind of serves as that mentor role, because that's kind of what the Illuminati is. It's a group made up of members across the Marvel Universe that kind of represent different fields of the universe in high-ranking standpoints. That's why you have, Professor X, the leader of the X-Men. Reed Richards, the leader of the Fantastic Four. Tony Stark, the leader of the Avengers. So that's kind of what you're going for here with these members. But again, the MCU can always change things up here, and it's not going to be a one-to-one translation. Now, when it comes to the idea of these characters actually getting their own project, I think, again, when I first saw this, I was like, oh, that just doesn't make sense. But then the more I do think about it, the more it does make sense. Because, it's just like the Avengers. We have the Avengers movies where all these characters come together and team up. So we could have that same exact thing here with the Illuminati, especially since we know it's going to be a while before we get another Avengers movie in the future. So this could be another one of those new teams that are introduced in the MCU. But also, then again, the Illuminati is kind of like a secretive team where it's not really a public team, so they kind of work together in the shadows. So I'm not really sure what they would be doing as a team, Like, maybe if it was just like a mini-series on Disney Plus showing their origins and showing them get together, and then after that we could go on to see them just like have little conversations and meeting and like post-credit scenes and stuff like that. I don't know. It'd be pretty crazy, but I'd like to see it. I would love to see the Illuminati in the MCU. I think it's a really cool team. Again, they're obviously going to change it up for the MCU, but I think this is a great idea. I would love to see this. But guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Would you like to see the Illuminati get their own project in the MCU? What members do you want to see on the team? And would you like a movie or Disney Plus series? So anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video and hit the subscribe button so I can keep up to date on everything that goes on in Marvel life.